Welcome to In Her Shoes. I'm Tiffany Dowling.
And I'm Shelley Davis Milak. Who's this?
This is Allie.
Allie. My goodness, how are you?
Oh, she's so great.
What is she doing here today?
Well, we're going to be doing, you know what, sometimes you just have to bring your pets along. I mean, doesn't everyone?
I know, I'm so excited to have our dogs here. I mean, Allie is like the model of good behavior sitting here. We're going to be seeing my dog a little bit later, who I love to death.
Yes,
Sparkles.
so cute.
Yeah,
Sparkles shine.
Yes. She has limited airtime.
She's a baby. Allie is a bit older.
Mm-hmm.
So
how old is she now?
She is 7 years old.
Oh my gosh, I remember when you got her.
Yes, it's been a while.
Remember when I called her a hairless chihuahua?
Yeah. She's a long-haired chihuahua.
I got the
For
hair.
those of you who are wondering.
I got the hair in the chihuahua part right.
Right, but hairless is not really the case.
Exactly.
In fact, my skirt will tell the tale after the segment.
It's so funny because, we just got our dog back in, I think, June. We got Sparkles, and I never understood it. You and I talked about dogs all the time before.
I love dogs.
Yeah, and I couldn't get it. You're like, and I'm like,
so sweet.
I remember I was like, do you like them as much as you like your kids?
More sometimes. Look at this.
I know.
My kid's crazy. Look at how
She
cute
is
she
sweet. But it totally changes your whole life, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. I mean, it's not as difficult as having children because that's ridiculous, but it is a lot of work, and I think that people sometimes underestimate the amount of work. In fact, my 20-year-old son was just saying, I think it's time for me to get a dog. And I said, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard. You couldn't even take care of dogs on a part-time basis when you lived at home. Let alone take care of a dog now.
Right. I mean, it's a whole job. And I knew that going into it. Unfortunately, my schedule is a little bit more flexible and the nanny during the summer, but we are boarding Sparkles for the first time this week. Yeah.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Dogs have a hard time with that, but I think even people have a harder time with the boarding.
Well, and it's so funny because I've become so very attached to the dog now that I said, okay, well, I'm telling my vet, here are my plane reservations. This is what time I'll be back, and I'll just blow by and pick her up. And she's like, yeah, we don't do pickup that day.
Yeah.
I go, oh, what? We don't do pickup on Sundays.
No.
What do you mean?
Because no one's there.
I know. I go, what do you mean?
They're alone.
They're alone. Oh, it's going to be so sad. But so I decided, once I hear the bad news that I can't pick her up, I'm giving her the whole bubble bath. The whole thing the next day.
Oh, you gave her the spa treatment.
The guilty spa treatment.
I love that.
Yeah, so pick her up. She doesn't smell like other dogs anymore.
Right.
She's clipped. She's groomed.
Oh,
Maybe a little happy to see me.
She will be thrilled to see you, actually.
I think
that is one of the, the most beautiful thing about dogs is that they have this unconditional love. And it doesn't matter what kind of day you had, they are so happy to see you that you can't help but have a smile on your face when your dog is just like jumping up and down and you're like, I like you.
I like you. I know.
It's good.
I was talking to, we have a mutual friend who has a dog who, her dog's a little bit more,
shall we say?
Rustic?
That's a good word.
She just spends a lot more time doing very dog type of things. She runs through the woods unattended. She runs around, and she offered to take care of my dog when I was gone. I love you, Coco. And I said, no. Sparkles is a smidge more pampered than that.
That's what I was I think that your dog does look a little pampered. I was noticing that.
But you pamper your dogs too, don't you?
I do. I adore my dogs.
Yeah, they come to work.
They come to work with me, not every day, but on days that I can make it work, I take them, and I love my dogs.
They're not gallivanting through the woods.
No, they don't In fact, they don't stray very far from the front porch. They are that spoiled. They're like, the treats, the food, the love inside.
Right.
Right.
Well, you didn't do obedience school with your dogs, did you?
No.
See, I'm going through that.
I did that when I had a basset hound. We tried that, and it was so successful. It's all user error. It had nothing to do with the people who were actually doing the training. But you have to actually, as you probably are well aware, you have to continue that work at home.
Yes.
Just not 1 hour a week.
Yes, it's daily. I can't wait for you guys to meet Sparkles later on. We're going to allow her to come up on set, but her time is going to be more limited than Allie's because Sparkles is a puppy. She's only 15 weeks old. She can't quite handle herself in this manner. She might piddle. I don't know what's going to happen.
Never know.
But you are going to meet her today, and I can't wait to do that.
Stay with us.
We have a great show in store. Shoes will return right after these messages.
Welcome back to In Her Shoes. We are talking about pets today.
Yes, I promise you're going to see my pet later on.
She keeps threatening,
I
doesn't
keep
she?
threatening. I do. But she will be coming later on. But we have some people on today that are really experts. And actually, as a new dog mother, that's what I call myself, I'm hoping to learn some.
This is great for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking with Janice Milligan. She is the owner of Doggy Daycare and Spa. And we're also going to be talking with Janet Smith, who is a trainer with Good Dog Training.
I like that.
Yeah, that's nice. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here.
So tell us a little bit, Janice, on how you got started in your love of, obviously you have to love animals.
Sure.
In order to do the type of job
Wouldn't
you
be
do.
a good business to be
No,
in.
wouldn't be a good
Yeah.
fit.
No,
No.
probably.
Well, I got started back in 2002, but Doggy Daycare and Spa actually was founded in 2000.
Okay.
Actually, on October 18th of 2000 by a lady named Holly Martin.
Oh, so it's a franchise.
No, but actually isn't a franchise. It's a single location.
Oh, okay.
But she started the business, and I got involved as a client at first. I had a little Schnorky who was destroying 2 or 3 pairs of shoes a week, and
That is
decided
not
that
okay.
no,
It's
not,
no joking
no.
matter at the Dowling household.
And I realized that daycare was much cheaper than replacing my shoe wardrobe every week. So I enrolled him in daycare, and I was in advertising sales, and I loved it. It was, it was fun, but I felt a little disenchanted. And I approached Holly about the possibility of opening up a second location. And we actually purchased the land that we're currently at on Mount Hope Highway in Lansing, over in Delta Township, in 2002. And shortly after we purchased that land, we found out that the land that we originally opened on in Okemos had been sold. So what was supposed to be a second location quickly turned into a relocation. It was a good thing we bought that land, otherwise Doggy Daycare and Spa might not even be in business today.
When I think of doggy daycare, I'm picturing like puppies and dogs in robes with the towels on their head, maybe a mud mask. What actually goes on there?
Well, the daycare is a totally cageless environment, so the dogs get to interact and socialize and play with one another rather than being locked up in cages. Because it's cageless, we do have requirements everyone has to meet, and we do have an enrollment process that the dogs do have to go through. So we want to make sure that's a safe but also fun environment
Right,
for every dog
absolutely.
that comes.
Well, I would imagine that not all dogs get along.
No.
It might not even be that they're aggressive, but they may not get along with a particular dog.
Exactly. Some dogs just don't actually enjoy an environment like that, and so obviously
Right.
it's not going to be a good fit.
No.
But a lot of dogs obviously do.
Right.
Like your puppy, perfect candidate for doggy daycare.
Everything.
Oh, yes.
And Allie, I don't think she would do well. She's very shy.
It
It would have to be a really small environment.
would probably have to be a really small environment and do it slowly. And sometimes just because a dog's shy, maybe that doesn't mean that they wouldn't do well. It just means we'd have to acclimate them a lot slower.
And Janet, you actually teach the obedience.
I do.
You're teaching dogs how to behave themselves.
How to behave themselves.
Doggy
yes.
etiquette,
yes,
as it
yes.
were.
I teach 12 to 14 classes a week for pet dogs. So we have all levels of obedience and rally obedience and agility. I have a new class called Circus Dogs where they're learning to be performers.
Can we put
So
her in?
you
Let's
can.
do it.
Do they wear
she
clown
balance?
noses?
Yeah,
They
She
do
balance on a
sometimes.
ball?
They have little tiaras and ruffly collars and all kinds of fun things.
Ruffly collar would go great.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
did
we're
you
all
get
about
in-
accessories.
How did you get into
Good-looking
that?
students.
How did you decide?
I got into dog training with a problem dog. I had a
Okay.
golden retriever puppy, and his name was Walden, and he was my Marley. And so I started pursuing training and taking training classes, and then I sort of got the bug, if you will. Got some more dogs, taking some more classes, working with a trainer in town, and then before you knew it, I left a career in retailing and went into dog training full time.
I know later on in the show you're going to be showing us some training tips, but I'm curious once we get there, because I've read every book. I'm like that annoying parent, like
She is.
before they have kids that has read
Right.
every book on
Information
puppies.
junkie, that's good though.
And there's so many different, theories and ideas.
She
and-
wants to be the dog whisperer.
Yeah, I want to be the
Okay.
dog whisperer.
Okay.
But then, I'm doing some of the reinforcement trait. So I can't wait to see what you're going to show us, because
Okay.
all I really want is just Sparkles to be well behaved. I teach etiquette.
So do I.
I need a dog that has proper puppy etiquette. It matters to me. So I can't wait to hear more about
about
that
it.
later on. Maybe do a little, show. Maybe she'll be
Sure.
all fixed before we go home. I don't know.
Right.
We'll do our best.
Stay with
Do our
us. We're going to
best.
continue our conversation with the dog experts.
Yes, when we return, future dog whisperer.
Welcome back to In Her Shoes. We are talking about pets today. I know it's shocking since we have this guest with us. We are talking with Janice Milligan. She is the owner of Doggy Daycare and Spa, and Janet Smith, who owns the Good Dog Training.
Good dog. I like that.
So ladies, there's got to be some really fun things that animals are so fun, and so you never know what they're going to do sometimes. So tell us, what are some of the funny things that have happened you have a very large facility.
Oh, yeah.
So there are a lot of dogs involved.
Yes, we do. Our facility is about 7,000 square feet, and then we have a 4,000 square foot securely fenced in area outside. And and it was all custom built. We custom built it in 2002 and moved into it in 2003. But yeah, we see a lot of dogs. We see, on average, we average about between 50 and 60 dogs a day for daycare. And then on the weekends, we usually board between 15 and 20 dogs on the weekends.
So how many people does it take, that you employ to
Sure.
manage 50 or 60 dogs? Because let me just say, I couldn't even manage bringing my second dog in by myself.
I have a staff of 13 employees.
Okay.
Now 13 people are on at all times. I have 2 groomers on, and then there's usually 3 to 4 of us that work daycare at a time. Wow. So the dogs are always supervised. Obviously putting that many dogs together and leaving them unattended would be very unsafe. The other thing that allows us to be successful is we see the same dogs over and over again.
Right. They're like family now.
They're like family. We know them. We know their personalities. We know what their triggers are. We know the certain things, the idiosyncrasies about their personalities. We know if somebody seems a little ill, if somebody's being a little bit off,
That's nice. Just like daycare for children.
Right. Well, it is. It's almost exactly like
call
daycare.
The parent
Right.
and let them know.
The difference with daycare for children, though, is you can't come pick up your child and they say, I think you need to send your child to obedience class.
and that happens sometimes. It really does. They go home with naughty notes.
In order to come back to daycare.
But Janet, you probably get a really good sense of what dogs need to come in based on just observing puppy behavior or dog behavior.
A lot of dogs, the things that are behavior problems for us are really normal behaviors for the dog. It's just that we don't appreciate what they're doing. They need to eliminate, they eliminate in the wrong spot. They need to chew, they're chewing the wrong thing. So it really is about teaching them what it is we want them to do. And it is very rewarding. You'll start as that first night of class or that first night of school, and the owners are nervous, and the dogs are coming in, and some of them are hiding under the chairs. Others are like, wow, party time, and everything in between. And it's so neat to see those stressed faces and stressed doggies by the end of class that are doing so much better, and they're so much happier.
I have a really important question for you.
Okay.
Can you teach an old dog new tricks?
Absolutely.
You can?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
I was going to give
It's
you
never
a
too
pass.
late.
It's never too late to
It is
correct
never too late.
behaviors.
They're always learning.
Okay.
They're learning from the moment we bring them home, so they can be learning the right things or the wrong things. Okay. And the more you teach them, the happier they are, the better the relationship you have.
I find
So it's really
that
good
they
for
need
them.
boundaries. Sometimes they need structure.
Some dogs do. They all need structure, and dogs are like people. There are dogs that are wallflowers, and there are dogs that are very gregarious and outgoing, and perhaps need to know what their boundaries are.
Right.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah, Sparkles is actually low-key. I don't think she'll be on set today low-key, but she's usually low-key. But then when I take her out, because she's a puppy, so everyone, wants to see her and hug her and pet her.
Yes.
She's getting a bit of a big head. I don't know.
She's very socially optimistic. I saw her come in. She was like, "Hi, I'm Sparkles, and I'm here." And we were like, "Yes, you are Sparkles." And she loved all of us, and that's a good problem. Too friendly is a good problem.
Socially optimistic.
She's socially optimistic. Yeah.
Well, with a name like Sparkles,
she would need to be.
What more could she do?
She's a star.
Well, I love how you use those types of words. I ended up getting a dog from the pound one time, and on the little sign it said environmentally focused. I was like, oh, that's so nice. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
No, it was a very nice way to say that it doesn't listen to anyone.
Well, she was listening to things, but there was things like the wind blowing,
It was
fluttering
a basset
past.
hound, so it definitely was focused.
Oh, the nose, yes, to the ground.
Focused on the nose, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
It's true.
Well, I alluded that I wanted to know what goes on at these doggy daycares and wondered what sort of spa treatments they're getting. We actually are going to be able to see some footage of that in our next segment. So
Yes,
I can
we
be in the
will.
know. I want to know if Sparkles is going to get a mud bath when she's
You're not
there.
allowed to
I don't know what's going on. I know. Pampered pooches, here we come. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to In Her Shoes. As you can see, we're talking about pets today.
It's time to let the secret out. I can't wait to find out what's going on in this doggy daycare and spa. And we sent Thomas out to find out for us. He did a little ops for us.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
So you're not allowed to watch because I don't want you to need to get pampered this week.
That's right. Take a look at this. In Her Shoes will return right after these messages.
Welcome back to In Her Shoes. We are with our pets, and guess what?
Yes.
Sparkles shine.
It's no longer Tiffany and Shelley, it's Sparkles and Allie.
That could be a good show.
It could be the star of the show.
It could.
So you're going to show us some things to do.
Sure.
I mean, our dogs are pretty well behaved right
They
now.
are.
You did
They're
not
very-
see her earlier, but they're pretty well behaved. But you're going to
They
show
are.
us some things that we can work on at home.
We want to mention that Sparkles is a puppy.
Yes.
She's only 15 weeks.
weeks. Yes.
So Allie is
Good.
7. So she's a little more mature.
Yes. She's more mature. She's small, but she's more mature. Yes.
That's right.
So what are you doing right now?
Well, puppies are learning right from the beginning, and dog training, at least the dog training that I do, and dog training in general, has gotten a lot friendlier. It's dog and people friendly, so you can start right away. Before we can teach Sparkles to jump through a hoop, I need to have Sparkles paying attention to me. So what I'm working on right now is just having Sparkles look at me. And so when she looks at me, and she's not choking, I say good, and give her a treat. Sparkles, you've gone to sleep on me. There you go, good girl.
She's very, what would you call it? She is very tummy motivated.
She is very food motivated, and that's all we have. We have, we have rewards or force, and I'm a reward-based trainer. Sparkles likes food. Don't you, Sparkles? Good.
She does.
So when
About
she's looking at
25
us,
pounds a month.
yeah, okay, all right. A lot of puppies or dog owners, they want to teach the dog their name, and their name is not No Bad Dog. They have another name, and I want her to look at me and follow me when I say her name. So I'm waiting for Sparkles to look at me. I'm saying her name, Sparkles. I move away a few feet, and when she follows, I say good and give her the treat.
Oh, look how pretty she is.
Good.
She's very pretty.
And dog training really is about keeping them busy doing what we would like them to do. You know, we spend a lot of time thinking, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. It's much easier to just teach her what we want, which is to sit and pay attention to us. She's not pulling on the lead right now. Good girl, Sparkles.
Allie's wondering where her
Good.
treat is.
And you
I'm
did-
sorry, Allie.
You did not give her a treat when she jumped. Was
I
that
did
on
not
purpose?
give her a treat when she jumped.
And
no,
you didn't say no, you just,
I just didn't reward it.
okay.
If I needed to do something, I might move towards her or move into her space, take the space back a bit. But no, I didn't say no.
So you don't recommend saying no to those sorts of things?
You know, certainly there's a place for punishment, but I really think it's about, especially with the puppy, creating the behavior that we want. And it isn't fair to start punishing her until she really understands what's expected of her. Good girl, Sparkles. That's a very good girl. And you can see that Sparkles likes the training. Her tail is wagging. She's happy. She's having fun. Come here, Sparkles. I can just put a treat to her nose if I raise it straight up over her head. She'll jump. No, her butt will go down. Good. And I can start rewarding her for that sit. Good girl, Sparkles.
Nice.
Very nice. Good girl. We can put a treat to her nose and lower it. Whoop, sit. Good. We can lower that treat to the ground. Oh, she was ahead of me. And we're starting now to teach her down. Good girl, Sparkles. Sit. Good girl.
Yes.
Very nice, Sparkles. And down. Very nice. Good girl.
She's like, I know what I need to do to keep the
Sparkles,
food
come.
coming.
So Janet, do you also,
Good,
obviously
very
you
good
work
girl.
with puppies.
I do.
Do you work with dogs that are a little older and maybe are going through some issues
Sure,
in
I
their
work
home?
with adult dogs. I have a lot of specialty classes as well. I have specialty classes for dogs that are shy. I have a class called Rabble Rousers, which is for dogs that are a little bit growly or a little bit grouchy with other dogs. I noticed that she was a little shy at first, so we've been making friends with some treats with her, and she's feeling a lot
little
better about
anxious.
being on TV now. Earlier, she was kind of panting and sticking her tongue out and yawning, and she's looking like this is a good idea
This
too
is a
now.
good idea.
She says, "I like training."
Yeah.
Oh, and I
she
didn't
likes
forget about
food.
you, Sparkles. Good girl.
She likes
I like
food.
people that
She's
feed me too.
Hey, yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, we're not much different than
No, we
puppies.
are. Very good, Sparkles.
We
Good
are going to
girl.
have Meg from Soldan. She's going to come on and make some friendliness with our dogs too, because as you can see, they are very tummy motivated. So she's going to come on in the next segment, but we're going to give her the opportunity to make friends right here with some yummy treats. Yummy treats.
I'm not a trainer, so I just
right. Just for the fun of it.
fun of it. You don't want
Janice, I wanted to know.
She's
you know
like,
what?
she's like,
We've
I
all
kind
been
of like
feeding
the
the
other
dogs.
treats
How do our
better.
dogs look? Do they look like they
got
need the
the other
spot,
treat
or
from
they looking
Soldan.
pretty good?
They look
This
pretty
also
good.
came
They look
from
pretty
Soldan.
good right now.
Okay,
Okay,
yep, you
great.
take very good care of both your dogs, I can tell that.
They're pretty pampered.
we
We'll
love
be back in just a moment. Stick with us.
Welcome back to In Her Shoes. We are talking about pets today, continuing that conversation about our four-legged friends. And we luckily have Meg Bashore in from Soldan's Pets and Feed.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. So you have everything. I'm very new to the whole animal world, so I haven't made it over there yet, but I've heard wonderful things.
Lots of locations.
Absolutely, we have 8 locations.
Okay.
Yep, 8
Wow.
locations total in
Oh my
Michigan.
gosh. So where are you located close to me? I'm in East Lansing.
Oakmas.
Yes, right
Yep.
there on Grand River.
Yep, right on Grand River. Just,
Perfect.
Just east of the Narnia Mall.
Oh, perfect. That'll be easy for me, especially, you know, Sparkles loves to go shopping.
Well,
Oh, absolutely. It's the dog store, that's for sure. They do the shopping.
and what's
there,
really
so.
exciting about Soldan's is it's family-owned.
Well, Sparkles,
Somebody
yeah.
is very happy.
She heard shopping. She's
and
my
and
dog.
family-owned.
Yes.
And she was like, well, sounds like I would love it there.
Right.
It's locally owned, family-owned, and I think that, you know, you and I definitely talk about how we like to support local companies.
Absolutely.
So Soldan's is the place to go.
Yes. So what do you do over at Soldan's, Meg?
I'm actually the manager
Okay,
at the
great.
Oakmas location.
Great, and you push doggy treats on people, I hear.
Absolutely. If people can eat them, they can try them. Absolutely. I've tried plenty. So.
You know, it's funny because my kids always want to try the dog's treats, and I always say,
Yeah. We have some cookies there that look like gourmet cookies, and they smell wonderful. And the kids always want to buy them for themselves, but they could.
oh my goodness.
You know what I've always noticed at Soldan's is you have a great array of like toys and leashes, and I don't think I've ever seen as many leashes as what you have over there.
We have a lot to offer for any animals: dogs, cats, small animals, reptiles, fish.
Well, I don't have any of those.
And we even get up to having the feed and the equipment for livestock and horses.
Oh,
So we kind of we cater to everybody, to all animals.
How do you, as a locally owned, family-owned business, how do you compete against the big stores?
It's hard, but we try to keep our prices competitive. We offer things that bigger stores cannot offer. We offer special orders. We will try our hardest to find certain things for you if you want it. We offer courtesy carryouts. We carry the stuff right out to the car for the people.
You know what I love is that you are knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And so, when you go in and you have questions, the people that are at Soldan's actually know what they're talking about. When you go into some other stores, there's a lot of, younger kids working there, and they just, they're doing great. I'm not saying they're not, but, they may not know as much as someone who's a little bit
We try and train our
more
employees, and then a lot of our employees, including myself, will go home and do our own research on foods and treats and that type of stuff, so that we know what is good for the dog, and that way, or the cat, whatever whatever you have, we want to be able to give the pet the best thing possible for.
This is my little Sparkles. You gave her some treats before. I think that she has associated you with having some food with her. She's really excited.
So she's gonna get some stuff later. That's for
really
sure.
excited to be on set, aren't you?
So cute.
You're such a pretty girl. You were made for TV. And coming up next, you're going to actually be letting our dogs try some things out.
Absolutely. Yes.
Looks like there's toys. There's different treats to try out. When we say treats, we get so excited, don't we, Sparkles? Yes,
so
we say, I will
true.
eat some treats.
Yeah.
Great, I can't wait. And I can't wait to try have her try some of these
Absolutely,
apple
I'm very
carrot cake,
excited.
turkey, sweet
Carrot
potato.
cake.
I know.
My favorite.
Stick with us. We're going to have a really great time. Maybe not as much fun as Sparkles and Alex, but we're going to have a great time when we come back. We'll be right back in a minute. I want to know if
Welcome back to In Her Shoes. We are with our pets and Meg Bashore from Soldan's Feeds and Pet Supplies.
Yes. Meg, do you wish that you had your dog here right now?
Yes and no all at the same time. I love my dog, but he would be crazy right now.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So you've brought a few things in that you're going to tell us a little bit about, and how we can make our dogs' lives better with it.
Sparkle's really excited. You can see she's sitting here.
Yes,
She's like, I know there's
she's
food
ready. Yes.
available.
The first thing I was going to show were actually the Soldan's dog treats. They're all human-grade ingredients, so someone could actually eat it. So they're all made in the United States. No corn, no wheat, no soy, no byproducts, none of the junk in it. And it comes in actually 5 different flavors.
What is Sparkles eating? She's
eating beef and cheddar.
Well, she
and
does love cheese,
Both
right?
of them are going to get a bag of those today.
Oh my goodness,
Gifts.
she's such a lucky girl.
They love
The other thing that is great to keep dogs, puppies or adult dogs busy are bull sticks. It's 100% digestible, so it's not like rawhide. It's not going to swell up in their stomach or anything like that. They can eat it. Takes a long time for them to chew on it. They're also
Very hard.
Yes. They're also both going to get one of those today.
Yay, you're such a lucky girl.
And then 2 things really, especially when you have a puppy, they have so much energy. And there are times where
We've seen that today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you run out of energy before your dog does.
Most of the
And one of the things I have found that has worked the best, even for my adult 2-year-old 90-pound dog, is a Kong. And basically what I have stuffed this Kong full of is different types of treats, the Kong snacks, the Kong breath stuffies, and then this is peanut butter. You can use real peanut butter as well if you want. And it's just, you can freeze it to make it last longer and make it for kind of like a popsicle in the summer. But it keeps the dogs really busy and makes them really try to get those treats out because okay, she had that.
Sparkle's like, see you later. I don't know what you guys are going to do.
I have done it with peanut butter with a bigger one for my own dog, and it keeps him busy for hours.
Yes.
Even when the stuff is gone, he thinks that there's still something in
Because
there.
it still smells. Tiffany turned me on to the peanut butter, and I go, but she just goes, and she goes, that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
That's fun for me.
Now, this is a great way to use a toy, too. This is by JW. It's called a Holy Roller. And you could use it. They make a small one for her, and they go all the way up to big ones. You can shove it. This is just a pig ear. It just takes them a while to finally get it out. So again, it's all about kind of
stimulating
taking
their
that
mind,
yes,
problem
it is. It's
solving
kind of like a
skills.
puzzle. They really have to work at it.
I've seen those trays that are like puzzles where they have to look for
Yep.
every little bit of kibble.
Yeah.
And I think those are pretty
Those are pretty cool. I've used
Now
that
you'll
once.
be learning some new tricks.
My dog wasn't smart enough to figure the puzzle out, but you know that
Really,
happens.
Sparkles
So
is brilliant.
you have a genius for a dog, absolutely.
Right, she looks like, yeah.
She'll be here all day
Yeah,
now.
she knows.
Right.
And then the tennis balls too. These are a real tough tennis ball, so they're not a normal tennis ball that they can puncture. It's one that it's going to be really
We
hard for them
learned that
to
the hard way
puncture.
with our Basset Hound.
Yeah.
That you give them real tennis balls, and it takes them about 6 minutes
To destroy it.
to destroy them.
See, we
So
just
you
play
really
catch
do
with
need.
it, but yeah, this is good to know. We play catch with it. I mean, she's a
So
retriever.
you'll both be getting one of those today too.
Oh, Sparkles, it's
You guys are leaving. And then the last thing I was going to talk about today is actually flea preventative. It has been a horrible year for it because we had such an awful winter, or good winter, depending on which way you look at it.
Right. It's
all your
But
perspective.
because we had we didn't have enough good frosts and real good freezes, the flea and tick population is a little crazy. And so I've also brought a little thing for each of you. This is a sample of Advantix. The great thing about Advantix is that it doesn't only just kill the fleas and ticks, it also repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, all that stuff. It's one of the best products out there on the market. And right
good.
now, it's the time that you need it right now. So
Right, so Meg, can people find you at the Okemos store
Absolutely.
for Soldan's? Then you have a website.
yes, we do. It's www.soldanspet.com. And we do also have our Facebook page, so please go on and like us.
Yes,
Nice.
and you don't have to have dogs to go there. We just
Absolutely
happen to have
not.
our dogs today, but you guys help
Yeah.
all kinds of pet owners.
Yes, we've got stuff for every type of pet. Whether it's in the water, on the lands, whatnot. So,
All right.
We probably won't feed your fish peanut butter. but
No,
I'm
I
sure they
wouldn't
have something
suggest
else.
it.
Thanks so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
And thanks
Thank you
for all
so
the treats.
much.
And
Absolutely.
Sparkles is saying
Very
thank
happy.
you in puppy language.
Yes, you're very
So
welcome.
excited.
Sparkle.
In Her Shoes will return right after these messages.
Welcome to Financial Facts, sponsored by our good friends at MSU FCU. This is April Clovis. She is the COO over there, taking care of all things financial related. Hopefully. Yes. Today we're going to talk a little bit about part-time jobs for kids, and when is a good time to encourage your child to maybe get a part-time job?
Well, it really varies by each family. So I know that I started babysitting at 13, and now I look at my friends' kids at 13. I'm like,
Wow.
leave them with their children. But the reality is, it's a discussion you need to have about why do you or your child want a part-time job? Do they want responsibility? Do they want money?
Right.
And then it is how many hours should your child be working and balancing it with schoolwork, and then
And
depending-
sometimes sports.
Exactly. I know some of my friends' kids. I don't know they couldn't have a job because
Right.
of their
It's
sports
difficult.
schedule. And then also legally, if you're going to, babysitting is one thing, but then if you're going to work for an employer,
Mm-hmm.
the type of organization that you work for might have age restrictions. So,
Right.
like for example, at the credit union, you couldn't work here till you're 18. Because we have
Financial
to bond.
institution.
Yes, exactly. But other places will take a part-time job, and it really is based upon hours and following the labor laws.
I tried to get my son a job when he was 7, but
Well,
there are
too
laws.
bad.
There are laws
Yes.
against that.
Absolutely. So really, it's knowing your child, knowing what they can handle and how many hours they can work, and what their schedule would be like.
That's great. You've been watching Financial Facts, sponsored by our good friends at MSU FCU.
In Her Shoes will return right after these messages. Welcome back to In Her Shoes. We've been talking about pets all day, and boy, was it exhausting.
I am exhausted. And I have to be honest with you, when we got Sugarberry that one day, it was a little bit more fun for me than our dogs eating all show.
I know, they were getting gifts and,
like Christmas.
treats. It was just such a fun day for them.
It was. I know. I think Sparkles is going to go home. She's going to walk into her kennel and she's going to say, hit the light and keep moving.
Yeah, I think that look, we've got this going on now. She's like, I've had enough. It's over.
I'm done.
It's over for me.
I just loved having Janice and Janet on. I think the Doggy Daycare and Spa, that's so cute. She goes, spa is really just a fancy way of saying grooming. I'm like, well, who doesn't like fancy things?
Well, I mean, isn't that for us too?
Exactly.
I mean, it's all about grooming.
Exactly. So I was so glad that they came on and talked to us about, some of the things that they do and then showed us some tricks to help keep our dogs be obedient.
You know what I really loved was that they actually get interviewed to make sure that there's a good fit for the dogs, because that's really the reason why I have never thought about taking my dogs to daycare, is because they're a little anxious. They've got personality problems.
Right.
One's shy, one is anxious.
They have to submit their resume. It's a personal interview. So Allie, tell us how you play. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't be part of this play group.
Right, you can tell she's very
Yeah, but I do and you're right, and I even see that when I take Sparkles to class, that some of the bigger dogs, and Sparkles is a big dog, but she's not a big, we have a Great Dane in class, and we have a Rottweiler, and so she's a little timid around those.
Well, sure.
She'd rather stay with the retrievers. So it is good to know that you can take your dogs and probably separate them out by, you can hang out with these people. You can't hang out with these ones.
Yes.
So.
Well, and I think that, it's great to know also, we met Meg, who gave our dogs lots of gifts.
Yes.
That, you have a great resource in town.
Yes.
It's wonderful. I've gone in there, and as I mentioned, my other dog has an anxiety problem whenever there's a storm or rain. In fact, that's where she's hiding today. But we went in and we ended up getting one of those thunder coats.
Yeah.
So that it, helps grip them. And it's working well, and they are really great because they can talk you through what it's supposed to do, how you're supposed to deal with it. And it's nice to have that resource available locally.
Locally owned. I love that too. So thanks to all of our guests today. Thank you, of course, to MSU FCU. April did not get to bring her cat on today. She said she may get to, but she wasn't able to. But thanks to them for always sponsoring our financial facts, and thanks to the stars of the show, Allie and Sparkles.
Nice.
I know. What are we going to do next week without them? Oh, we're going to be talking my favorite time of year.
Back to school.
It's almost time to send those kids off, and we're going to have a show talking to you about how to get prepared to shoo your kids out the door here very soon.
I mean, if that's what you want.
Come back next week. We can't wait to talk to you.
She's like,
Go to In Her Shoes Television and like us on Facebook.
follow us on Twitter at InHerShoesTV.
Don't forget to visit the In Her Shoes webpage at inhershoestv.com.
Come and take a walk.